There are people out there who own 200 pairs of shoes and they wear maybe 6 of them. The rest? Sitting in boxes, wrapped in tissue paper, like they're sacred artifacts from a lost civilization. And here's the wild part. Nobody thinks this is weird. Before we go any further, there's a psychological phenomenon that sneaker collectors share with gamblers, drug users, and people who binge Netflix at 2 a.m. We'll get to that, but first, let me tell you about a guy who slept outside a store for 3 days to buy a shoe. 3 days. Not a house. Not concert tickets. A shoe. Every sneaker collector will tell you the same lie. It started with just 1 pair. Yeah, it always does. 1 pair leads to 2. 2 leads to a collection. A collection leads to a dedicated room. And suddenly you're arguing with your family about why a $400 shoe deserves its own shelf lighting. But here's what nobody talks about. It's never really about the shoe. Think about it. A shoe protects your feet. That's it. That's the whole job. A $10 pair of flip-flops does that. So why are people dropping $500, $1,000, sometimes $10,000 on a pair of Jordans? Because humans are not logical creatures. We never were. Here's where it gets interesting. Psychologists have a term called identity signaling. Basically, the things you own tell the world who you are, or who you want to be. Your car, your phone, your watch, and your sneakers. When someone walks into a room wearing off-white Nikes or a pair of Yeezys, something happens in the brain of everyone around them. A quick, silent assessment. Status, taste, tribe. It's primal. It's ancient. It's also kind of hilarious that we're doing it over shoes. But here's the darker truth nobody wants to hear. A lot of sneaker collectors aren't buying shoes. They're buying respect. And that hits different when you realize the kid who grew up being overlooked, underestimated, ignored, walks into a room with the right pair of sneakers and suddenly, people notice him. That's not shallow. That's human. Remember that psychological phenomenon I mentioned at the start? Here it is. Every time a new sneaker drop is announced, your brain releases dopamine. Not when you buy it, when you anticipate buying it. The waiting, the refreshing, the countdown timer. Scientists call it the anticipatory reward system. Casinos built entire empires on this exact thing. So did Instagram. So did Netflix's autoplay. And sneaker brands figured it out decades ago. Limited releases, secret drop dates, raffles, exclusive colorways. They're not selling you a shoe. They're selling you the feeling of the hunt. And once you catch it, you need to hunt again. That's why collectors always need 1 more pair. The collection is never complete. It can't be, because completion kills the dopamine. Now let's zoom out, because this isn't just psychology. Sneakers became culture. In the 80s, hip-hop was rising, basketball was exploding, and a young Michael Jordan wore a pair of shoes that the NBA literally tried to ban because they were too colorful. Nike paid the fine every game and turned the controversy into a commercial. Sales went up 900%. Suddenly, sneakers weren't just sports gear, they were rebellion, self-expression, art. The shoe became a canvas, and the culture never looked back. From Run DMC, rapping about Adidas, to Kanye redesigning the entire sneaker industry twice, sneakers became the currency of cool. And once something is cultural currency, people collect it. Same way people collect coins, art, or vintage wine. Except sneakers are way more fun to flex. Okay, let's talk about the code, because sneaker culture has rules. Rule 1, you don't crease the shoes. Ever. Some people walk like penguins in a museum just to keep their Air Force Ones flat. Rule 2, beaters and heat are different things. Some shoes you wear, some shoes you protect, like they're the Mona Lisa in canvas form. Rule 3, if someone checks your feet before your face when you walk in, they're part of the culture. Welcome to the club. And Rule 4, the most unspoken of all, the box matters. Throw away the box, you might as well have thrown away the shoe. The box is part of the package. Don't ask why, just accept it. So, after all of this, the psychology, the dopamine, the culture, the rules, what's the real reason people collect sneakers? Here it is. In a world where everything feels out of control, careers, relationships, the news, a sneaker collection is something you own, something you built, something that is completely, entirely yours. It's order in a chaotic world. It's self-expression when words aren't enough. It's nostalgia wrapped in rubber and foam. And sometimes, it's just because they look really cool and humans are simple creatures who like pretty things. There's no shame in that. So the next time you see someone with 47 pairs of sneakers they'll never wear, don't judge them, because somewhere in that collection is a story, a memory, a version of themselves they wanted the world to see. And that's not just a hobby, that's humanity. In a box. Size 10. Drop your sneaker count in the comments. Be honest? Nobody's judging. We're definitely judging.